Welcome back to Arc Salt Lake on this Thursday. It is now 7:47. In observance of the upcoming 25th anniversary of 9/11, the nonprofit 9/11 Day has big plans to unite tens of millions of Americans to help out the single largest day of doing good in American history. This year's goal is to pack 20 million meals in one day for families in need. Salt Lake is one of the 50 cities chosen. We are joined by Andrea Sorkin, who is the Vice President of the National Programs for 9/11 Day. Andrea, thank you for being here this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Okay, this is definitely a somber and significant anniversary, the 25th anniversary of 9/11.
Yeah.
How did your organization start? Let me begin there.
Yeah, so we started back in 2002 in the aftermath of the September 11th attacks. Our two co-founders, Jay Winnick and David Payne, got together. Jay sadly lost his brother on September 11th. He was a volunteer firefighter. In the morning of 9/11, he heard what was happening, as we all did, and he rushed right to the World Trade Center. And he was in the South Tower lobby, triaging, trying to help people when the tower came down. And sadly, he lost his life. So in the aftermath, Jay and David got together and felt compelled to do something, as so many people did, but really wanted to take the day back and, in honoring those who we lost and those who were injured, and in those who rose to service on that day, and really wanted to kind of change the narrative a little bit. And what they did was they thought about what happened next, which was people just came together to help each other. They came together to help their neighbors and their communities. It was not about our differences. It was not about the things that divide us. It was really just coming together as Americans, as humans, to do the right thing. And that was the spirit that they really wanted to move forward. And they thought that was the best way to honor those who we lost and those who were injured on that day. And so that's really how we got started. And that was back in 2002, and we've really just grown from there. Last year, we had large-scale projects in 24 cities, and this year we'll be in 51 locations around the country, including Salt Lake City.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Why was Salt Lake chosen as one of those cities?
Yeah, so last year was our first year in Salt Lake, which was really exciting for us. So, we just kind of look at cities where we think that there's going to be really great engagement from the community, cities where we know folks are ready to roll up their sleeves and, do work in their communities. Last year we had somewhere around 500 volunteers that came out in Salt Lake. They packed around 200,000 meals that benefited the Utah Food Bank. All of the meals that we pack stay local to the communities that we're in. That's super important to us. So you really feel that impact really close to home. And this year, again, we're planning really similar. We'll have somewhere around 500 or 600 volunteers come out. We'll be at the University of Utah, at the Huntsman Center, and again, packing meals to benefit the Utah Food Bank once again.
It's about meals. Why is that kind of the focus?
Yeah, so it was a natural fit. September is Hunger Action Month. And, as we know, food insecurity affects every single county across this country. So it really made sense to us that, when we're thinking about doing large scale projects where we can really make a significant impact, and then we're also talking about September being Hunger Action Month, it just fit, So being able to go into these communities and do these projects where we can make these really big impacts, where the folks who are volunteering can really see it, the meals you're packing could end up on the tables of, somebody in your kid's classroom or somebody who works at your grocery store. So it's really important. And it just seemed like such a natural fit.
If people want to get involved still, what's the best way?
Yeah, so certainly people can still get involved in our Salt Lake project. and our projects across the country. So if they're interested in coming on to participate in the Salt Lake project, they can email us at volunteer@911day.org. So it's volunteer at 911day.org. Shoot us an email. We can send you in the right direction. Whether it's meal packing spots or we have tons of volunteer opportunities outside of our outside of just the meal packing. So we need folks to help with setup. We need folks to, help replenish tables and help with our check-in. So there's a lot of opportunities that are there for people in the community to jump in.
Andrea, let me ask you just how this has grown. We're 25 years on. I mean,
Yeah.
very impressive. Give me your reaction to that.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. As I mentioned last year, we were in 24 locations across the country. This year we're in 51 locations. And I don't think I could overemphasize what a huge jump that is for our team. We are a small nonprofit. So we are, a skeleton crew, and we are making really big things happen. But it was such a landmark milestone this year, it being the 25th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks. It's such a significant day for, not just for our organization, but for the families of those who lost people. And it was really important for us to make a really significant impact to honor all of those who were lost that day and those who have been lost since then due to 9/11 related illnesses, which is still, an ongoing issue that we see for folks that were affected that day. So it's grown significantly over the years, and this year certainly being this will be the largest day of service that this country has ever seen.
And is it likely to keep growing as the years go on?
We'll see. I think we'll see. I think right now the opportunity is endless. We grew tremendously this year, and we see people coming out. They want to get involved in all of these cities. We see people coming out in droves wanting to participate. So I think, the possibilities are endless for how big that, we could be. And we also have, other organizations. We have a grant program where another more than 200 organizations across the country received grants for us to put on their own service projects in their own communities. So that's schools, that's universities, it's youth organizations. The impact is really, really substantial this year. It's very exciting.
Yeah, a lot of good being done in many different ways. So, Andrea, and I just want to touch on what you already mentioned about Salt Lake. Definitely our record of volunteerism here, a very good one. So I can understand why so many people wanting to help out. Andrea, thank you so much for joining us. I know this is really a somber anniversary, but that is really a key way people can kind of work through this day is helping other people.
Yeah, that's really our mission, is taking the day, remembering the day, but doing good things for other people. And it's not even just about coming to service projects or volunteering. It could be the smallest acts of kindness that really go a long way. And so everybody, has the opportunity to do something good on September 11th.
All right, Andrea, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.